Hello and welcome to Low Budget Gaming and welcome to my review for the Invincible. So the Invincible is a sci-fi adventure game. Game released last month on the 6th of November, and I was lucky enough to get a key from the publisher. I have played and finished the game last night and I wanted to share my opinions on the game. So this is a game inspired by the sci-fi world of Stanislaw Lem, and you are on a planet called Regis 3. You are a scientist, a crew of scientists who land to study the planet and things like that. Now, the issue with this game early on is that this is a very heavy story driven game. So I'm only going to use footage from the very beginning of the game, and I'll also try and not give you any spoilers because it's kind of hard. The whole point of the game is the story itself and what happens. So basically, you play as Dr. Yasna, who is one of the crew of the Dragonfly, which is a small research vehicle, spaceship, I should say. And you land on this planet. You're trying to figure out if there is flora and fauna based on the composition of the different gases in the air. So the game starts off with your character just waking up from a sort of blackout, and the whole story early on progresses in this way where you try to remember what happened. There are parts of it that has blacked out, so sort of like Pulp Fiction, if you will, where you move further and then you remember something from the past and then you connect that and then you recall, oh, okay, this happened and then this happened. Now throughout this while you are talking to your astrogator or the navigator on the ship. The rest of the crew was also down here, so that's how you start the game. You are going towards your camp, locating your crew, and then moving on further. Now there's also a little matter of a rival sort of organization called the Alliance that is also involved in research and stuff, and your navigator wanted your team to stop here and do your research because they wanted to have an advantage over the others. So that is also there. Now, if I'm being honest here, that is about the most I can give you about the story without spoiling anything. So let's talk about other things like graphics and stuff. So the graphics are pretty good. It seems to be an AMD optimized title. I have an older PC and it ran pretty well. I played on the ultra settings and on the high settings, and I did not notice much of a difference, so I kept playing on the high settings. The FOV goes up to 90, wish it had gone a little more. Now, because you're on a different planet, your movement is a little different because of the gravity and stuff. And maybe perhaps because of this or something else, I started getting a little bit of motion sickness at the start of the game. So what I did was, after about an hour or so, I took a break and then I came back, plugged in the controller, leaned back into my chair, turned off motion blur and all those things, and then I had no issues. I managed to finish the game. So in total, the game took me 6.3 hours according to the Steam time to finish the game. This is also one of those games with multiple different endings based on your choices that you make throughout the game. And as far as I can tell, there are about 10 or 11 settings, and I got, I think, probably you could say the neutral setting, perhaps, ending. I mean, there are good endings, bad endings, and I think mine was a neutral from what I could tell. Yeah, graphically it's good. There's a lot to do in the game in terms of like moving around. You're on foot, then you have different vehicles as well. A lot of surprises in store. That's all I can give you, sadly. A few plot twists, nothing major in my opinion. I mean, I was expecting bigger ones, but nothing too big. It is basically at the end of the day a walking simulator, so keep that in mind. There's no real fail state. Most of the time you are exploring and listening to messages and journaling things that you discover. It is a very good story to it. Just feels that because it's inspired by a real novel and stuff, it actually feels and starts off well. Graphically it's well done. Now the overall experience I feel is, in my opinion, I would say, is it starts off very strong and it got me hooked instantly. But as I progressed into the game, I felt a little underwhelmed with the story and maybe even the ending. Maybe the one I got wasn't satisfying enough. But I have seen some of the other endings on YouTube, checked out the endings. And yeah, they are interesting. and could have ended up with one of those. But yeah, I just felt like it started very strong, but it did not end as well. So like I said, overall the game took me about 6 hours to finish, and it could have been faster because a lot of the time you are looking around searching for things on foot. There are sections where you drive, there are vehicles in the game, and things to do like scan with your metal detector and things like that. So yeah, now on to the price. The game, because it's brand new, is only, well, it's not only, it is a $30 game, so not a cheap game, and 1500 in India. So I think personally the price is a little on the high side right now. I would say if you are a fan of sci-fi stuff, spacey sci-fi stuff, is it all space stuff sci-fi? I mean, anyway, if you are interested in stuff like that, which I am currently, then you should definitely check this out when it's on a good sale and in a price range that suits you. If you have played games like Firewatch and you like those games, then you'll definitely enjoy this. So I would say just wait for a sale and pick it up for the price that you feel is appropriate for you. I also suspect this should be in a bundle soon, hopefully on Humble. If it is, I'll mention it. And it could also be free from Epic in a year or so if they keep giving away free games. But I think it's definitely a nice relaxing game to check out when you're not in the mood for a lot of action fighting stuff and you just want to enjoy a nice story without having to play a difficult game or something. So the gameplay part is straightforward. It's the story, like it's 90% story and 10% gameplay. So yeah, that's my quick review. I think it's a solid game. I don't give number type reviews, but if I was to, I would say it's a solid 7 out of 10, 6.5, 7 out of 10. Like I said, story starts off strong, graphics are really good. The story, like I said, is very interesting, plot driven, and some plot twists as well. And yeah, graphically, once again, very good looking game. So yeah, thank you for watching, and let me know if you are interested in something like this or if you've already played this and what your thoughts are.